Hey, you guys, welcome to Bed with Sean Queen. Or should I say, come to bed with Sean Queen. It's funny because I've had so many inboxes and so much support from you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel so good about this. It's crazy because I just started my YouTube. And I want to say I'm in my second week. And I had 3 subs. And now I have 43 subs. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm so grateful, for that. That to me is so amazing. And I just want to thank you all. I want to tell you all a little bit of a story as to why I started this YouTube channel and why I started this Come to Bed. I started this Come to Bed with Sean Quinn because um, it was awfully sad that out of 5 years of my marriage, 3 of those years I slept alone, and I did everything I could. It was so unfortunate for me. And when I say I slept alone for 3 years, the person who I am married to would argue me tooth and nail. You did not sleep alone. You did not sleep alone 3 years. And in his argument, he would say that because he came to bed 2 or 3 times a month. To me, that's still sleeping alone. 2 or 3 times a month, um, not nearly. So what happened was I was devastated. I was devastated because I never seen it done. I suffered in silence. It was really a hard place to be. I never seen anybody go through it. You couldn't have paid me. You couldn't have paid me. You couldn't have. You couldn't have gave me $10,000 to know that I would be in a marriage where a man would make me sleep alone, and I stayed. It wasn't so much of what somebody would do to me. It was more about what I tolerated or the fact that I stayed. Like that's crazy. Like you could have never paid me to think that I would have stayed in something so horrific. But in everything there is a lesson learned. I think God was teaching me something in that I think I learned so much tolerance in that pain. But needless to say, that's how I came up with the title "Come to Bed with Sean Queen," because I slept in the bed so long by myself, and in that laying in that bed, wallowing in so much pain and hurt and confusion. Um, it was hard because I didn't have anyone to talk to. Few people I tried to reach out to that I thought was my close friends, but you don't have no friends in pain. I found that out. Fair weather friends. You figure out who you have in pain. That's how you figure it out. And I was already the type of person that really didn't have really close friends like that. I had a few people that I dealt with that was in my space, and when you're in a toxic relationship, especially with a narcissist, um, it tends to go left. Either he would run or she would run those friends away, or those fair weather friends tend to walk away and leave you because they don't like your mate, or you yourself would kick your own friends out of your life because you're trying to stand up and advocate for your marriage and your relationship. And if you were a lioness like me, my family was everything to me. My kids, my husband, my mom, even my friends, but not over my family, because I believe solely in marriage and its principles and its morals and its biblical morals of, you know, when the biblical moral says that, none come before your husband and your wife. And so I am truly a believer in when it says that a man must leave his mother and his father and cleave to his wife, putting all others, forsaking all others. I am a sole believer in that, you know. And when it come down to marriage, I stand down, you know. And I am also very respectable to the husband and to the wife, you know. Even if they are not respecting one another, or even if, you know, it's a hot damn mess, you know, and the wife could be a hot damn mess, the husband could be a hot damn mess. Me as an outsider, I understand that I can't have one without the other. So I stand my ground, I stay in my place, I try to respect boundaries, I try to keep a very neutral face among the husband and the wife so that I could stay in whoever life that I'm trying to stay in, whether it is the husbands or the wives or whatever. You know, I just try to respect that grounds of marriage, especially seeming that I am a wife. So, I'm in this marriage, and 3 of the 5 years I slept alone, and I begs and begs and begs and begs. Oh, you want to talk about the humiliation of begging your husband or your wife to come to bed with you? Child, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I've never ever had to beg anybody to come to bed with me at all. I never will. I never have. I ain't gonna say I did for years, but I never will again. And that was a place of humility for me, you know. Um, I don't know why. I don't think I ever know why. Why this was the darkest place of my life. But I can graciously stand here today and say, thank you to the Almighty. Thank you to the Almighty, because for some reason I had to be here to get to where I'm going. But in this pain, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And if you ever been here, and ever, if you're there now, I am taking this time to do this, to create this channel, because I want so many of you all out there to know that you are not alone. And I want you all to know that if you continue to run the race, there is life there. Don't commit suicide, because it's set up and it's designed for you to do that. I felt that. And it wasn't over a man. You know, the crazy part about it is a lot of times people would say the most indignant stuff, you know, and even if it is over a man. I know mine wasn't so much over a man. Mine was over the fact that, and I'll get into it later, put a pin in it, but mine was just over failure. It was over failure altogether. It was over the fact that I allowed somebody to come into my space with me and my children. It was over the fact that I felt like I had let down my children's, my babies, you know, who trusted me, who it was about so many things. You know, it was about so many things. It drew from the pain of the past. You know, me and my children, we had lost, you know, they had lost their father. I had lost my first husband. You know, it was about disappointments. It was about me trying to find healing, you know, for the entire family. And I failed everybody again. You know, it was about bad choices. It was about when I thought I had went up the ladder 10 steps only to find myself back down 15 steps. It was about being bamboozled food. It was about the fact that I had been this woman that people relied on for so much intelligence and so much wisdom and so much advice, and yet I was in a place where I wasn't using my own advice. I was in a place where I felt like I was um, doing, in a place where I would have told anybody else to never go, you know. And I was, how did I get here? I was in a place where I felt like I had gotten into a bear trap and couldn't get out, you know. Um, and so there were so many areas of why I felt the way I felt, along with the fact that, like Maya Angelou said, nobody can make it out here alone. I was alone. I was alone with no support, no friends, no family, no nothing. Nobody, people have me, you know. They have me to lean on, to support, to pull them out of the belly of the whale. But me, who did I have? You know? And so I was in the shadows of death for me. I was in the darkest place one can be in. A lot of people have their mother that they can rely on. A lot of people have, their